Hello, everyone. Let's start things off by talking about your most valuable asset within your organizations. That is you, your colleagues, and the talent working for you. The talented people in our organizations are like expert musicians. They're adaptive by nature, and they're always evolving. Expert musicians are passionate about their craft and are always eager to try out new musical styles and improvisations. Think about some of the most memorable music on your playlist. Chances are, much of it was created through improvisation and experimentation by the artists. Within I&O, we have to learn how to harness that adaptability and the talent that we have to the benefit of our organizations. We have to encourage a collaborative mindset. Rock bands are more valuable to our organizations than rock stars. Skilled soloists must be combined with versatilists and other skill profiles to form cohesive teams. And our best talent is always eager to learn new things and to experiment. So as IT leaders, we need to encourage and vigorously support that. Overall, our mission in I&O can be easily summed up with three main goals. One, we must work hard to retain the talent and staff we have. Two, we must seek out new talent wherever we may find it. And three, we must support and nurture our talent and build an environment where they can grow and evolve. And if we can achieve these things, we will maximize the likelihood of our talent being as adaptive as possible. So let's dig a little deeper into this. This sobering sentiment was shared with us by a professional that has worked in IT staffing for decades. Within Gartner's own research, we've seen evidence of this, that if you do not make active efforts to retain your best talent, someone else will come along and gladly take them away from you, leaving you in an even worse spot trying to replace that talent in a very, very tight labor market. So as IT leaders, what can we do to help retain the staff we have? Well, we have to sharpen the value proposition for working within I&O as much as we can in order to maximize our chances to retain our best talent. And this comes in a lot of ways. Some of them are the usual ways you would expect, such as good pay and benefits, job stability, and a good work-life balance. But there are other ways we can improve I&O and emphasize its transformative role for our organization. And that includes providing opportunities for innovative and interesting work, for learning new skills, and fostering a respectful and collaborative environment. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, in a workplace is fundamental to adaptive resilience. The diverse array of challenges you will face in a marketplace necessitates having a diverse workforce to meet those challenges. Your teams must be diverse in a number of areas. In terms of race, age, gender, technical ability, background experiences, thinking patterns, and communication styles. And based on Gartner's own research, frankly, by just looking at the numbers, you will find it difficult to retain and attract talent without a DEI strategy. Gartner's research has shown that organizations in the top quartile of racial and ethnic diversity are 36% more likely to have financial returns above their industry averages. And those organizations will be able to attract more talent, perhaps poaching yours, and provide more innovative work over time. So we absolutely must embrace diversity, equity, and inclusion within I&O in order to maximize our chances to retain our best talent. And what's nice about this is that it's something that doesn't cost us a whole lot of money to do. It just takes a little bit of time. We must also assess our skills inventory, both individually and as organizations, against not only our needs today, but also what we anticipate our future needs will be. And this includes analyzing what is going on in the labor market. Taking these actions will ensure that we won't be caught in a bind when, in fact, we do need talent. Legacy skills are typically in decline, and as a result, should have a decreasing level of investment in them over time. Additionally, it's critical that we not let our talent get stuck only working on legacy technologies, because then they become ripe for poaching by another organization. Niche and core skills must be actively invested in and continuously grown to make sure they fit our needs and that we can meet the main demands of our business and potential emerging demands. And critical needs includes many emerging areas where we will need to increase our skill sets in the next few years, which means we will have to either grow our resources towards that or look on the open market. An IT skills roadmap exercise is exceptionally beneficial for I&O organizations to plan out their future needs and to get ahead of things. However, competition in the labor market is fierce. It is tremendously tight in the labor market, much tighter than I've seen in almost 4 decades in the industry. In fact, in a recent Gartner survey, talent availability surpassed all other risk factors associated with technology deployment. So talent management truly is critical for our success as I&O organizations. Therefore, Gartner actively suggests I&O organizations practice forward feeling of IT skills. For decades, I&O, like many other departments in our organizations, have practiced just-in-time labor management, in many ways following behind demand. This often means replacing departed staff with identical skill sets. However, in a fiercely competitive labor market where adaptability is paramount, Gartner suggests that organizations look towards forward-filling skill sets, being ahead of demand instead of behind. That means always recruiting. And when staff leaves, you upgrade this skill set, not duplicating what is left. Work is everywhere now, and a diverse array of talent can be found anywhere. So don't wait for just the right moment. Otherwise, you'll certainly be left behind. We need to get better at running to where the ball is going and not where it is right now. And lastly, in terms of evolving skills within our organizations, it's important to realize that nobody's job is static anymore. I&O will be forced to be more dynamic than probably any other IT area. Now, we don't mean evolving talent for the sake of evolving talent. No, we mean evolving talent because roles are going to be constantly changing in the future. In fact, Gartner estimates that only approximately 30% of you listening to this keynote will be in a traditional I&O structure by 2025. Sit back and think about that, 30% of you. So to evolve our existing staff, this includes not only investing in obvious things like technical training, but other strategies such as searching out nearby adjacencies between current roles and future roles to try to build an evolutionary path for existing titles. This is an output of the IT skills mapping exercise that we showed earlier. For example, maybe a database administrator who has years of expertise in data persistence can play a role in starting to research the use of blockchain ledger systems. Or they might start to move into a role supporting master data management, where IT and business work together to ensure uniformity and consistency of an enterprise's data assets, no matter where they may reside. We can also borrow the idea of pair programming from the software development world to help foster these adjacencies. For example, if we're looking to move into infrastructure as code, we might pair a senior systems engineer with a developer for a few hours every week to work on automation use cases. As IT leaders, we need to work with our staff to A, find these adjacency opportunities, and B, set up a plan to direct their time to pursue these adjacencies. So we must direct and protect their time. Another way to evolve our talent is to embrace the principle of agile learning. We need to revolutionize how we think about learning in order for our talent to thrive. And there are 4 key aspects of agile learning that we must always keep in mind in order to bring laser focus to our investments of time and our money, in order to make sure that we unlock the most potential for our organizations. We must emphasize business outcomes over knowledge gain. Agile learners are focused on top-level organizational goals over their own personal advancement. We must focus on real-time embedding over offline training time. People learn the most when training occurs in small units called microbursts, embedded within everyday work activities. People should not have to abandon their jobs for lengthy weeks-long training sessions with long gaps before applying that knowledge. We need to foster a growth mindset over current skill set way of thinking within our staff. IT is one of the few careers where everyone's knowledge has a definitive shelf life. And we probably don't have many Novell NetWare administrators in the audience today. And finally, we should encourage community compounding over individual practicing. People learn more and create more when they learn and sometimes teach within a group setting rather than on their own. And as an example of community compounding, we've seen examples of this enabling innovation within other organizations, such as Google's famous 20% time, the Ship It Days, first pioneered by Atlassian, hackathons, and the concept of pair programming that we mentioned earlier in terms of fostering nearby adjacencies of skills. You may have heard of some of these initiatives before, but if we're being honest, probably not enough of us has made a serious effort to implement any of them and evolve our existing talent as much as we could have. Evolution of our talent will make us or break us. It's just as simple and as difficult as that. If we put in the investments, it will pay off in not only the near term, but most definitely in the long term as well.